used to make rules in the mission just for him. Like,
oh, they did.
Oh yeah, remember they'd make those announcements like with the hair thing. They made a rule right after he got his hair done, saying like what you're allowed to do with your hair. Because before it was just confined to like having this missionary haircut, but then he would like get highlights. So then highlights were banned. And like in the letters reminded me because they used to, because I saw a couple of these letters, because they were, you can see them in the mailbox. They were always like these like gold lame like covers and stuff.
Sent me these fun, and I sent really fun letters. Like I would use like the Liahona, which is like the ensign in Mexico. I would use these Liahona pages, and I would like make them into envelopes, like stupid like pictures, and send them. It was really really fun.
But then you like those were banned. Like after
they were like they made this announcement. Conservative envelopes, like or conservative.
Yeah,
the pages of the ensign aren't conservative.
That's what I said. I was like, it's the ensign. I'm like, this is I was like, this is a missionary tool. These are so stupid.
It was really really funny.
But I did have one envelope that I think was the one that got in trouble, and it was literally a gold tin like envelope. It was gold. It was like literally shimmering gold. And the mission president was like, "This can't be. Like this just can't." I think he was just like, "This is just too gay for me." Yeah, this is too gay. And I was like, "It's not hot pink." Like, you know, I could have pushed.
They're like, "Now you have to choose your stationery."
Right? Exactly. I should have done like white envelopes with like lipstick, like kisses all over it. It's a white envelope. Anyway, so okay, so wait,
really funny.
you were talking about getting to BYU and
so yeah, we got to BYU. Roommates.
Oh, and you were saying how we got on that was you were saying that you were kind of glad you didn't come out on the mission because it would have been Pandora's box, and which it was for our friend. Like because his mission president was really weird about it anyway. So yeah, it was good.
Yeah, because I mean there's a lot of things that go on when you come out of the closet. Obviously, I mean that's kind of what these videos are about, or sometimes, and so it's it's it was kind of nice to just be at BYU in a little safer than mission to kind of deal with that, and you have obviously more privacy, and you can, and there is a little. We did find ways to kind of like date if we wanted to, and things like that, and so, it was kind of like I was really happy with the timing. It was before I really had made all these straight friends at BYU, and yet after the mission, where I was able to finish the mission and feel like I gave 100% to it, and then had that chapter kind of be closed. So I was kind of happy with it.
You said date. Did you guys date?
No, we didn't date each other.
We didn't date.
You did date when you were at BYU?
Yeah, I mean,
we sort of created this like little safe haven where like we could sort of live our lives and just. I think it was just the fact that like I had my two little friends. My brother was really really accepting, and so it was a little bit of like a gay zone. Like you could kind of be gay and
And we had like, I think between our friends, we kind of had all philosophies like in that house. I mean, we had Timmy who eventually got married. We had Clark who, I mean, you dated a little bit for the most part, but you were, still wanted to kind of follow Timmy's footsteps, I guess. But yet,
I was celibate.
You celibate.
Like I wasn't having sex, and then
we had like Don who is, also. Well, he didn't really date a lot either during college.
Yeah.
But I mean, we kind of tried to at least attempt to like obey these honor code rules, and like because we knew that, we did sign it on one hand, and there's some little bit of integrity of that. On the other hand, we didn't want to get caught and then turned in and then have to leave BYU because we like hooked up with some guy, and have that ruin our education. So we were definitely very careful and aware of not only what the rules were, but if we did choose to break them, how would we get away with it, kind of thing. What I did, I mean, I dated a guy, I dated a couple people, most notably I had an ex that we dated for like 1.5 years or something during BYU. And, I came out right when I got there, from the course I was there for the 4 years. So...
okay. So But you came out to Clark after you were off the mission.
Right. Basically
just
within
right
a matter
when
of
you
a
moved
month.
in.
Yeah, because we moved in, then we started hanging out a lot, because I didn't know anybody yet except for my brother, and so here Clark was there, I was like, well,
And he started hanging out with a lot of my friends, too, You know, he started hanging out with like Timmy, and he started hanging out with Dawn, and with my brother Clay probably sometimes.
Yeah.
And then there was this other gay house at BYU at the time. There's always like some gay house. There was another gay house at BYU.
Plenty of gay.
And and this guy from the other gay house came and like hung out, and he like went to church with us like one of the first Sundays. And I think Craig, you either gave your testimony that day or you gave a talk or something. Anyway, or maybe he just met you. I can't remember. But he was like, Craig is totally gay. He was like, Craig is so gay. And he's like, I can tell. And I was like, and I was just like sure he wasn't. Because again, he just was not a conflicted person. Like, he did not seem like he was going through anything. He just didn't. He seemed
Were
like,
you?
Yeah, I mean, I was, but I think that right about that time, depending on exactly when the timing was,
mm-hmm.
You know, I was kind of preparing myself to tell him, you know, but I've already told other church leaders and things, and so as far as like my relationship with the church was concerned, I wasn't that conflicted because I'd already gone to them and I'd already kind of like resolved any kind of miscommunication with my like standing in the church, even though I had never.
Good point. That's a very good point.
Yeah,
so you didn't have that like.
That's how I was.
What's gonna happen when they find out?
Yep.
You know, which creates a lot of anxiety.
That's
anxiety that you did the same thing.
Yeah, I was like, if I'm not gonna do anything secretly. If I'm having feelings, I'm not gonna act on that. Like, I never did anything that was against the honor code or anything like that. I didn't even think about it. I was like,
you were like, I can't do that.
I was like, no, I was like, if this is what I'm here and I've chosen to do, then that's it.
And you're like,
and
I
then
signed my name
when
to
I
this,
did come out, I was like, you know, I set a date. I did that whole thing. I was like, now I'm gay. Full of, you know, so I was never conflicted as far as like being. Well, I mean, I did have stress about what's going to happen, how am I going to handle this, and fighting your emotions or whatever.
Right.
But I was never conflicted really about the church because I was like, it was either you're in it or you're out, and I made the choice.
You're out in fashion.
Yeah. The next day, you're out. But that's what I did, so I totally understand that.
Yeah.
I mean, I was like,
yeah,
I'm not going to hide.
That's so good because, and also the way Craig did it, because I think if you're just having integrity with what you're saying and what you're doing, like for instance, I think it creates a lot more anxiety to be sort of living this double life. I mean, I guess that's obvious, but like if you're someone who's like ostensibly you're really in the church and you totally believe in the church, but then you're going and having sex.
Right.
I think it creates a lot of anxiety, and you do get that sort of like bubbling turmoil that you can feel. You know.
Right.
That's
well, you're eating yourself alive from the inside out because you're preaching one thing and doing
another. Yeah, and you're doing something that's like really against the paradigm that you've been brought up in, and so you've got a lot of guilt about that. But then, you know, who knows how that guilt is manifesting itself. You may be really judgmental of other people, you know what I mean? I saw a lot of gay guys at BYU that were not out, but they were just so judgmental toward me, and I hated that. Like, I'm like, you are such a gay. Like, how dare you, like, turn your judgment of yourself onto me.
It's
like,
always the gay ones.
Always the gay ones.